On the 24th of November 2016, the ACT Minister for Higher Education, Training and Research, Meegan Fitzharris, announced that the ACT government is providing $750,000 to UNSW Canberra and the ANU to strengthen Canberra's credentials as the home of Australia's space and security sectors. The funding will be spent on two projects: the UNSW Canberra Space Mission Design Facility and the UNSW Canberra and ANU Space-Based Quantum Communications. Each project will receive $375,000.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to UNSW Canberra at the Australian Defence Force Academy. And can I particularly welcome Meegan Fitzharris MLA here this morning to make the announcement. Before I begin, can I pay my respects to the Ngunnawal people, the traditional custodians of this land, and to their elders past and present. We're particularly pleased to be having this launch this morning at UNSW Canberra. Obviously, space is a really big thing for us, and I'll be saying a few more words about that after the Minister has spoken. So, Minister.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here today. I'd also like to start by acknowledging that we meet on the land of the Ngunnawal people. There's a couple of people in the room that were at the previous event with me, and that was the very important opening of Kmart in Gungahlin, where I'm probably more familiar talking about the rockets that are in the children's toys aisle in Kmart that I am here. But each time I come, I learn, and I'm amazed about what is happening both here at ANU, particularly at ANU, and up on Mount Stromlo as well. And there's just so much that we have to offer as a city and our institutions and the very, very skilled, knowledgeable staff within them to grow this part of our economy. And I'm here today, of course, to make an announcement about an ACT government commitment, which we are very pleased to make. I'm making it on behalf of the Chief Minister in particular, who was very keen over many years and has developed our business development strategy. And we see the space sector as a really important part of our future. And the more we can tell the local community about it, and the more that we can tap into your colleagues and partners around the world to bring people back to Canberra, bring people to Canberra that might never have been here before, the investments like this are a really important part of our future. I'd like to also acknowledge Kate Lundy, our local industry and importantly defence industry advocate as well, and representatives from the Canberra Innovation Network, Sarah Pearson, and of course from both ANU and UNSW here today too. As I mentioned, we're committed not only to growing this sector, but to strengthening and diversifying the entire ACT economy, and in particular building the capabilities in our research and education institutions. Nowhere has this been more profound, I think, than in the space industry. I'm learning something new each time I talk about this, and each time I meet with you and hear what's happening in this industry. It's very exciting. And we know that here at UNSW you have a $10 million investment, and also very keen to be part of growing the Commonwealth's agenda to actually develop a sovereign space industry capability. And also ANU is committed to this development too through a major commitment, $25 million at the Advanced Instrumentation and Technology Centre up at Mount Stromlo, where I was earlier this year on a couple of occasions, but notably also to meet with the CEO of Northrop Grumman, who came out, and I could see he was impressed with the facility up at Mount Stromlo too, and we look forward to more partnerships with more industry partners as the years go by. Both universities have a significant commitment to cybersecurity as well, and both universities, as well as other research institutions, you know what the opportunities are, you've told us, and we are really enjoying working closely with you. You all know how much money the Defence White Paper has committed over the next 10 years, $17 billion. It's a huge opportunity, and if we can capture some of that and a growing part of that over the coming years, there's an enormous opportunity for Canberra. The ACT government has been championing this sector. I would be interested to see what you guys with Space UNSW Canberra, when you walk around local shopping centres, if people stop you and say, "Really, we do this here?" Each time I mention it to someone, they're impressed and they're amazed, and it starts to make real what it is when we're talking about all the opportunities we have through our research and higher education institutions. But I understand that it's growing quickly and we need a very nimble approach. We know we have some major events coming up and it's for this reason that last week the Chief Minister wrote to the Prime Minister asking him to consider developing a national space strategy ahead of the International Astronautical Congress that will be held in Adelaide later on this year. I know that going to Adelaide in particular will be important for Canberra institutions. I understand you had Greg Hunt here. Here yesterday as well. So an opportunity to really spruik to the Commonwealth what it is that you are doing here in Canberra. It's not just great for us, it is great for the Commonwealth Government as well. But I understand there'll be 3,500 people from around the world at the Congress later on this year. And this is a real opportunity not only to showcase Canberra, but to showcase Australia's capability in the space industry. I know that the organisations and institutions here today will be there, and I know that you will be doing everything that you can, and we hope the investment that we're announcing today will help you partner with organisations and let your partners know that Canberra and the ACT government is very serious about contributing to the development of the sector. So there are two projects that we are pleased to be able to announce that we will be funding: the Space Mission Design Facility here at UNSW Canberra, and also a second project, the joint ANU-UNSW Canberra Space-Based Quantum Communications Project. In talking to you, one thing that comes through very clearly every time I meet with you is the importance of collaboration, of people who are experts, getting on with their research, getting on with their work, but knowing, importantly, coming back together again, collaborating, and these investments, we hope, have a real opportunity to collaborate within the institutions and between the institutions as well. I've been given an interpretation of what the projects will do, but you will know better than I, so I'll look forward to conversations with you about what these will actually achieve. But from our early seed funding, $750,000, $375,000 to each project, we really do hope that it positions you to partner and access those significant defence funds that we know Defence are looking for an opportunity to invest, looking for exciting innovations. The ACT government's support for these projects remains very strong. We certainly understand that co-investing, being able to move quickly, being able to have good partnerships to understand what it is that you can do, all the possibilities that you can develop, is something that we'll continue to work closely with you on. Congratulations.
Thank you, Minister. From the UNSW Canberra point of view, I think that obviously we're very happy to have the government's support for these projects, but there's some really important things that have gone on in Canberra over the last few years that underpin that. And I think that the willingness of the ACT government to reach out and to talk to the education and research and other sectors of the ACT economy about actually what are the opportunities to grow things in Canberra, and then to incorporate that concept into the business development strategy, and then to follow that through with funding to kick things off. That chain is something which is really important, and it's something that we haven't always seen in not just in Canberra, but in various sectors of the Australian economy. So getting all these things linked up is very important. And as the Minister said, the collaboration is also hugely important. Nobody can work in any of these advanced areas by themselves. Within Canberra, the cooperation obviously between UNSW and ANU is very important, but more broadly, we both collaborate with a range of partners internationally. And that means that what we're setting out to do here is both develop sovereign capability, but also to develop things that are genuinely world-leading. And as part of that, here at UNSW Canberra, in assembling the team of people that can do the spacecraft integration, and you see the first example of that at the back of the room, we've brought Australians back from all around the world. So these are people who wanted to work in space, they couldn't do it in Australia, they've left Australia to work elsewhere, and now we're creating the opportunity for them to come back to Australia and to help us to develop an Australian space industry. So thanks very much, Minister, for the announcement. And I'd now like to introduce Professor Daniel Shattuck from the ANU to say a few words. Dan.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming today, and I think it's a very exciting day for the Canberra space community in general. This project brings together researchers from the ANU and UNSW that are at the crossroads of science and technology, and in fact at the crossroads of space and cybersecurity in this area. We have, the project will involve the technology that drives the world's largest telescopes. It will use the technology that brought us the detection of gravitational waves, and it will also involve the quantum technologies that many believe will drive the next generation, next revolution in the world's economy. But it's actually more than just the universities involved in this project. Canberra is an amazing place. Not only does it have the expertise in the universities for those three areas, but also has a trio of Canberra companies that will also be involved in the long term. The quantum technologies that Quintessence Labs has developed, the digital signal processing and control systems that Liquid Instruments has developed, as well as the EOS Space Systems' world-leading capabilities in delivering lasers into space with large telescopes. And all of those three companies will play a role in the future of this project. So I thank the ACT government for the funding they've announced today, but I also thank them for their role in bringing us together for the first time. This is really a new collaboration between UNSW and the ANU, and I look forward to good things to come in the future. Thank you very much.
That's all right. So, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. It's once again our pleasure to have been able to host this event, and we look forward to seeing you at future events where we're actually launching the capabilities that we've got the funding to develop today. Thank you.